Hello, thanks for watching this Excella University video on the topic of global search basics. My name is Thomas Strauss, and I will show you the following highlights. First, I will show you the global search location within the Civic platform. Next, a look at search requirements, then the various types of searches that can be completed, and finally, a review of search fields that can be used as criteria by search type. Let's get started by logging into the Excella Civic platform. Once you've logged into the Civic platform, you can easily find the global search icon located on the main menu on the left side of your screen. It's at the top portion of the main menu where you have three static icons. You can see the traditional search icon, easy to find. Click on it, it pops open to allow you to put in your criteria. Now it's important to know that not only is this where global search is located, global search is different from the other searches that you're going to find throughout the system. And it's important because you'll notice in other spaces that I have open, such as the record space, there is a search button that can be accessed in the toolbar on the record space. Same thing for, say, the inspections page. There's a search button. If I go to contacts, there's a search here. These are specific to those different types of data. So if I navigate to the record space and I click on search and I enter criteria, the only type of result I will get will be records. The same thing for inspections or for contacts or really for any of the other lookups that you have, such as addresses, parcels. You'll only get one type of result in those searches, and that is that particular type of data. So recognize that if you are looking specifically for, let's say, all the records at a specific address, you might go to the record space, click on search, enter an address, and the only kind of result you'll return will be records at that address. Global search, though, is found here, and it's just like it sounds. It's global. It looks for information that matches the criteria across many different types of data. So that's one thing to understand, is that this is the only place you'll find global search. The other search buttons you encounter throughout the system are specific to those pages or types of data. Now let's talk about search requirements. I've opened up the search window. And the first thing you should know is that there is a requirement of 3 alphanumeric characters in order to generate a search. So if I had just 2 letters or numbers or a combination of both, that would not work. So let's say, for example, I'm looking up a contact named Michael Lee with the last name spelled L-I. I wouldn't be able to just enter L-I and search. When I hit the search option, nothing happens because I only have 2 alphanumeric characters. Now, this is unique to global search. If I went to the contacts database and put in Lee, L-I, as the last name in the criteria, I would be able to return the result that matches. So it's important to know for global search, it does have a 3 alphanumeric character requirement at a minimum. So if I'm looking up a contact named Michael Lee, in this case, what I could do is I could make it a string search and put quotes around it, and that would give it enough characters. We'll talk more about that in another video on global search features. In this example, I'll just type in the full name of the contact and enter, and you can see it returns my results. So the requirement here is at least 3 alphanumeric characters. And as far as the results go, you can see that it returns results across a number of different data types. Records, there's 1 match. Well, how is there a record that matches Michael Lee? Well, that's because the applicant, one of the applicants, is named Michael Lee. There's a location as well. Apparently, there's a Michael Street that was returned. So it finds Michael, not just Michael Lee. If I look across the rest of these different categories, I see there's a contact. And if I click on the contact, I can see that this is the contact I was looking up, Michael Lee. So recognize those global search distinctions and characteristics. The other thing I want to point out is if I navigate to contacts, the contact space, and then I return back to global search, my results persist. And those results will persist for the duration of your session, for the period that you're logged in, or for the period until you execute a new search. So these results will remain here until I log out or I conduct another search. Let's also talk about the types of searches that can be completed here. If I were to enter a record number and I put in the entire record number, and we'll talk in another video on global search features, the wildcard, string searches, variant spelling searches, those are discussed in another video. Here I put in the entire record ID, I click search, and notice that it searches across records, locations, professionals, documents, assets, contacts, and parcels. Under records, there's one matching record, and that's the record I'm looking for. You can also see that 2 documents were returned, and that's because any document that's attached to a record is associated with that record number. So you can actually look up documents by using the record ID. And that's what I've done here. I found the record, but I also find documents associated or attached to that record. And both of these documents are attached. Another example that I might use would be, let's say I put in an address. So I've entered 711 Park Avenue and I search. In this case, there are 21 records returned that are associated with that particular address. There's also a location returned, and that's the actual address, 711 West Park Avenue. There's a licensed professional returned with this address. And you can see that the business name of the professional is Park General Contractors. And so Park is a match. If I look further, I can see there's a match with contacts. There's a contact with the name of Avena Park. So it's important to understand what you'll return as results when you use global search. If you're looking for records, you may get matches across locations, possibly documents, contacts. As far as fields that can be used for your searches, if you were looking for record data, you could use fields such as a record ID, alternative ID, project name, module, asset. If you were looking up locations or addresses, you could use the street number, start fraction, direction, street name, street type, unit number, city, state, zip, address line 1 and 2, parcel number, and owner name. If you were looking for licensed professional data, the state license number, first name, middle name, last name, full name would all work. If you were looking up documents, you can use the record number, file name, document description, document category, document group. For assets, it would be the asset ID. For contacts, the contact organization name, the contact DBA, trade name, email address, phone number, contact full name, contact first, middle, last name. And then for parcels, you could use the parcel number. So at this point, you should know how to locate global search, and you should recognize the difference from other Civic platform searches. You should understand that it requires 3 alphanumeric characters and your results persist for the duration of your session or until you complete a new search. You should also know the different types of data that can be retrieved and be familiar with the fields that can be used as search criteria. So that completes this review of Global Search Basics. Be sure to check out the Global Search Features video as well. Thanks for watching.